My dad was a writer. Actually, today is his birthday, believe it or not. But
happy birthday, Pops.
yeah, happy heavenly birthday, Dad.
Oh, my man.
And yeah, but he was like the head writer of like Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs and Tiny Toons, and so I grew up around film and storytelling, and and I also grew up around the industry, so I saw the waves of success. Like my dad would be on a show and things would be good as a kid, and then there'd be times where we were going to lose our house because he wasn't working. And so I realized that, like, as true artists, it's never just like a constant like work path. Everything, ebbs and flows in our industry. And so, being able to manage that and sustain and weather that storm is one of the most important things in this industry. Because, anybody can, ride the high of being successful, but like it's not forever. It dips and it comes back, and it dips and it comes back. And I think that finding how to spend your time and keeping that creative drive inside of yourself at all times when things get slow, when there's a strike, when there's, a pandemic is key.
Cool. How was it growing up with a creative family?
I mean, honestly, I don't know any other way. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like my dad was a director. My mom, my mom and dad met on a film set. Like they were producers together, and so I actually had some summer, not summer breaks. It was more like daycare sessions on film sets, or like winter break was I didn't get to stay home or go to some like camp or another. Like I went to a film set because my dad was making a movie in December.
That's awesome.
Right? So it was like those were my summer and winter camps in a sense, right? Was living on sets.
I mean, I did summer camp, and I did sleepaway camp, and I did normal stuff like that. But I would go visit because my dad was a writer. He wasn't like like on set, but I would visit like the recording studio when he was when they were recording like Pinky and the Brain or Captain Simeon and the Space Monkeys, which he did. And
so you get to see like the voice actors.
Yeah, I got to see the voice actors
cool
and stuff. That was a lot of fun, and it was also a lot of fun because my dad's close friend Maurice LaMarche, who I'm actually having dinner with later today, who he was the voice of the Brain on Pinky and the Brain, but he's also almost every character on Futurama. Yeah, and one of the cool things was knowing Maurice, he could do like any voice. So as a kid, that was the coolest thing because I would just say voice and he would just do it.
Yep.
So that was so much fun for me.
Yeah, my dad had a friend that could do Daffy Duck.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. So cool. Yeah, it was so
like,
it was
Bill,
so fun.
do Daffy, and just do the whole thing. So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing about like growing up in the industry in that sense is like I think a lot of people think like nepotism, like people you got a leg up in the industry because of your parents, and in many ways I did, but not in the way people think. Like my parents didn't get me a job. They didn't introduce me to anybody. They didn't financially support me. Like that. None of that happened.
Yeah.
I was out of the house by I was 18 years old.
Behind the curtain, but
like
still had to get there.
What I had was the peek behind the curtain, the understanding of how the industry works.
Yep.
And pretty much the best lessons in storytelling I could ever have.
For sure.
And I think that's and honestly, shout out to my dad as well. A lot of the mistakes that he made in his career, he talked to me about, and I learned from his mistakes.
Yeah. So
like I did not repeat those mistakes because, I learned from the mistakes he made. Yep. So it's one of those things that I think I got one of the best lessons and one of the best educations I possibly could have. But there was no like, they did not like call up and say, hey, we're going to give you a job. It would have been awesome if I could get that. But I mean, everything I did was self-made.
Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More For Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Mo2 Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Mo2 app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.